In this video, we're going to teach you the essential learning techniques that will help you learn better than you ever have before. Let's go!
One study technique I'll be talking about is teaching other people, because it is shown that one must understand the content in order to teach it to someone else. According to the Ahbijay, a study shown that students who taught students that are younger than themselves score higher on tests than those who only learn from themselves. And this is to understand the depth of knowledge. It can also improve student efficiency, confidence, and communication skills.
Sleeping more can help you study better. Have you ever practiced or done a study guide, but the next day, when the test came, you didn't understand the test? One of the problems could be sleep. It is scientifically proven that getting the proper amount of sleep helps you remember the information and concentrate. The quality of sleep will decide if your study is effective, because your brain will be able to absorb and process the information better. Also, a good tip for better sleep is to turn down the lights at night for your body's natural clock to adjust and produce the required hormones to induce sleepiness when it's time for bed. The way to study more efficiently is to avoid distractions. Distractions are detrimental to your learning because your brain is not focused and therefore working at lower levels of efficiency. In fact, a 2005 study by Leitner System shows that constant distractions by your technology correlate to a 10-point drop in IQ. This is twice the amount of drop in IQ of smoking marijuana. So, when you're studying, put away your phone or any distractions until you finish studying so that you can learn with optimal brain power.
For some of us, whenever we study, we usually study for long periods of time continuously. Although this works, it is not that efficient. To study more efficiently, it is best that you study in short bursts. It is scientifically proven that learning in short bursts can help you remember the knowledge you learn more easily and you won't feel as tired when you finish studying. To learn in short bursts, you can try studying for 30 minutes and take a 10 to 15 minute break before you start studying again.
One notable example to improve effectiveness when studying is to take practice tests, which are scientifically proven to be extremely effective. Practice tests help simulate what you might experience on the actual test, since most of them are on the same level as the exam. Conducting several short practice sessions distributed over time enables long-term storage. This method utilizes distributed practice, a high-utility learning style. I would recommend taking these tests with a good testing environment with no distractions. Also, when you finish taking the exam, write down the questions you got wrong and why you got it wrong, and then review it. If you do this, you are studying effectively, and it's the best way to practice your skills you have learned.
Research shows that studying before you sleep can help you to remember the information better because the information you take in right before sleep will be processed by your brain as you're sleeping. This means that you're going to understand and retain the information that you studied better.
Another great method to study would be using a strategy called memory palaces. Word memory champions all use this technique to remember, and you can become just like them by using this technique. To use this technique, you can imagine walking around a familiar place in sequential order. For example, you can imagine, sort of like picturing in your head, of you walking around the house, starting from the front door, and relating those bigger furnitures to the things that you have to memorize. And once you start implementing the strategy for your class, you'll start seeing significant improvements.
Although highlighting notes helps when it comes to studying, it is not that effective. Instead, you should try out the Leitner System. The Leitner System is a technique that is based on using flashcards. When using the Leitner System, you use boxes to decide what you study. The lower the box number, the more time you have to spend studying those certain flashcards. For example, if you get a card right, you can move the card to the next box. But if you get a card wrong, you put the card in the previous box or leave it in box 1 if it's already there.
Instead of cramming and studying everything on the last day, you can try to space out your study sessions. This is better than cramming. For example, study every day for 1 hour for the next week is more effective doing 7 hours in 1 day. Decades of research have demonstrated that spacing out study sessions over a long period of time improves long-term memory. In other words, if you have spent 12 hours studying on a subject, it's better to study it for 3 hours each week for 4 weeks than cram all 12 hours into week 4. After you have created a spaced learning schedule, follow through with your plan. Make sure you stick to the schedule and avoid skipping sessions. This will require discipline, that is, avoiding distractions being committed to your learning activity on a regular basis. But when the exam day arrives, you'll be better equipped to achieve a solid result.
We all know that cramming the night before an exam or just cramming an entire textbook at once is probably not a great idea because you'll likely forget a lot of the stuff you just studied. So what you should do instead is to use a technique called spaced repetition. So this is when you space things out and review content at an increasingly longer interval. For example, after you learn new content after a class, you can try to recall the content without notes one day after you learn, and then after 2 days, 4 days, and so on. This is proven by study that increasing longer intervals of review can improve test scores because it will gradually require more brain power and thinking as the time from last review gets longer.
One last tip to help you study better would be to exercise. Although exercise doesn't really seem like a tip that helps you when you study, it actually helps you study by giving you multiple benefits, both physically and mentally. It is scientifically proven that exercising can improve your mental health in multiple ways, such as reducing anxiety, depression, and negative mood, and also by improving self-esteem and cognitive function.
Hopefully this video has helped out a ton. Make sure to share this video to your friends and family to help them out as well. Now, I'm going to take a short moment to explain what this channel is all about. So, in this channel, our goal is to help young children regain their interest in STEM, which is, often lost due to how school teach these subjects. And we do this by showing them how fun this field could be. And so we do fun science experiments, and we teach science concepts in fun and engaging ways. And these are all coming out soon, so subscribe if you support our cause or you want to see more contents like these.